Michael Irvin. What was your biggest takeaway from this game? And I know you were up very early out here in L.A.
Yeah.
Watch it.
And I will be up early next week. And I said to myself, that I didn't even mind getting up early this time because the game was so big. I got up at 2 a.m. I was saying, usually. At 2 a.m., I'm usually saying, let me get 3 fucking cramps, because they're saying last call, you know what I mean? I was waking up. I was going to work at 2 a.m. So it was something new. But I knew I was going to see the Miami Dolphins and Tyreek Hill go up against the Kansas City Chiefs. So I was up. I was ready. I was hype about that game. The first thing I thought about, because as I go into every game, I want to see the bad boys at wide receiver, just like I told you about my boy C.D. Lamb. I was looking at Tyreek Hill. It's so funny because the key and I was talking about this. You know, I noticed early what they were going to do. They put Snead on Hill, and they're going to say, hey, let's fight. Let's fight. That means you're not leaving this line of scrimmage without a fight. And you saw that wear down on Tyreek Hill. And Key and I was talking about having those battles where you got a guy in front of you. Now you got a guy back there too, you know. So now you got to fight this guy. Get past him. Then you got to go run the route on that other dude. You fight him, get past him. Then you got to fight to catch the football. And I mean, it's a battle when you do this. And that's what they're putting Tyreek Hill in. They're saying, like a boxer, you're not going to be this fast in the fourth quarter when we beat you up all game like this. And to some degree, that has been working. And what happened, I was waiting on Waddle to step up and make some great plays. And Waddle did, but then he went off the field, got hurt and everything, and went back and forth. I thought it was interesting that in this offense has been so explosive. In the first half of that game, I was looking at Mike McDaniels, and I thought, wow, this is the first time it looked overwhelming to him. It looked like he was overwhelmed. He was by himself, and things weren't working. Nobody was around him. I said, boy, the genius has stumped. The genius don't know what to do. But then they started figuring things out and started making plays, and I saw an opportunity there for them to win that football game. Now, on the Chiefs side, I thought it was incredible because Patrick Mahomes is basically God playing quarterback. I don't care what you guys say. It's basically God playing quarterback. He doesn't have quite the talent. He needs a wide receiver, but he always makes just enough plays to keep them in the game. If you're not going to catch this ball, I'll run and just scoot past this first down. He's a phenomenal, phenomenal talent. I got people all on me, Key, because I said he'll never catch Tom Brady, and I was saying it in a place where I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed I got cheated out of Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes. That should have never been broken up. That was the greatest thing I'd ever seen on a football field. This side of the greatest show on turf, offensively, that should have never been broken up. And I was disappointed when I watched that game that I didn't see those two together. But the Chiefs found a way to win. And Miami got to start finding ways to win these kind of games. Or you cannot be considered one of the big boys. You have to find a way to win these games.
Yeah, I don't consider him one of the big boys. I consider him fun to watch. I consider him dynamic when they are at home and they're throwing the ball all over the lot. But when I look at the 3 teams that they lost to, Skip, what did those 3 teams do? They disrupted the timing in the passing game of Tua. And I've been saying this since Tua became a full-time starter. He gets the ball out quick, like one of the fastest, we've seen in a very long time.
Yep.
But if I have to make him cock, reload, and look for something else,
absolutely,
at that point in time, that defender is in his face.
Yep.
While they're over there chicken fighting with the defensive backs, like Michael said, you got to get off a guy, then you got to fix your face mask probably. Then you got to run the route on the other guy. Then I got to break out of my route, hope the ball and the timing is correct while the guy is zeroing down to knock my head off. That's a lot of energy that you are now putting out on the football field. So when I look at the teams that they've lost to, the Buffalo Bills, okay, they negated the passing game to a degree, put hands on the receiver, disrupted the timing. Then in Philadelphia, same thing occurred. Early on in the first half against this Kansas City Chiefs team, and for the most part, the passing game in the second half, they ran the ball on some big chunk runs in the second half, but nowhere near what you've seen Miami do against the Denver Broncos. And you go back and you think about the beginning of the season against the Los Angeles Chargers. They had to squeak out a win against them because they were still being disrupted at the line of scrimmage. Now, when you start to say, well, what is Miami in the AFC? Miami is now slipping down. Cincinnati has passed them. Baltimore has passed them. Obviously, Kansas City is up there. The New York Jets is right there with them. They are now behind the sticks in their own division, where the Jets, depending on what happens tonight, they'll be in first place.
Yep.
Sole possession of first place. So I think when we talk about teams like the Miami Dolphins, they're cute. It looks fun. But let's give a lot of credit to Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, Skip. Okay? Travis Kelce, it's not Travis Kelce from 3 years ago. It seems like he might be, to a degree, slowing down with that explosiveness that we saw him have 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
But Miami did to Travis Kelce what they were doing to Tyreek Hill.
Absolutely, 100%.
So they were beating him up, too, at the line of scrimmage.
They beat him up at the line of scrimmage, not giving him free access. Right. And he's out there, Skip, Patrick Mahomes, he's playing with guys. He's playing with guys. Yeah. That's the reality of it, and he's doing all this with guys.
Timeout. I saw this completely upside down, especially on Travis Kelce. You're saying he's suddenly slowing down? Well, he has been an all-time terror
right now,
especially when Taylor Swift shows up at his games and he is inspired, and she did not show up yesterday, as far as I know.
She didn't show up in a Denver game either.
Okay, I got it. But that was 3 catches for 14 yards was his lowest output in 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Because he has been destroying this league up until this game.
When I say slow down, though, Skip, I'm not talking about he's at the end of his career. No. I'm talking about slowing down, about being just sole guy by himself.
It's the weight of it.
It's the weight.
It's the weight of it.
You can't do all of that consistently.
But Miami was the first team all year that just said, you know what? No, we are not going to let you have him. You're talking about Tyreek, but this was the one where they just said, we'll triple him if we have to because you cannot have him. He had 7 yards on a catch. His third catch was in their last drive, and it was a tight end screen in which he started behind the line of scrimmage. Well, it's hard to go defend him behind the line of scrimmage, and then he weaved through him for 7 yards because he can really run after catch.
And those are plays you call when you just want to keep your guy involved, when you want to keep him involved.
All right, I'm going to point out that in the second half yesterday, Patrick Mahomes went 6 of 11 for a grand total of 38 yards. Yes. So they had him under some wraps, the way you usually cannot control Patrick Mahomes. And I want to show you one play, which was his actual final play. It's 3rd and 1 at the 19 with 2:42 left. They got to convert this play to keep the football, and they try on 3rd and 1. You're going to do that, and he's dead, and he just throws it out of bounds. Okay, they resorted to that. They don't have a tush push. When in doubt, they're just going to drop back and throw it, and it was probably heading toward 87. I'm going to bet his number was called.
You see it right here. You see it. He was going to scrape and find a little spot right in the middle. Okay. You see him right here. Watch. Yeah.
But in the past,
and he was looking for 87. You're right.
In the past, though, he didn't need to buy that type of time. He could deliver the football. So that speaks to my point about Kelce, whether it's double team, triple team, it didn't matter because he was always getting open regardless.
Gets open like nobody I've ever seen. Okay, so all of a sudden, Tua gets the ball back, and they go Mostert for 25 and 19, and all of a sudden I look up, as did you guys, and wait a second, it's 1st and 10 at the 31. And here we go with the last 4 plays. If we could see them in order, please. The first throw is as dangerous as it gets because he throws it but he looks back here, and this ball. Look out. It got to Mostert's hands, but he couldn't hang on to it. Look out. Here's the second play, and it's an airmail.
And that should have been the out route.
Third play. I don't know what it is. I don't know to Cedric Wilson.
And he said it was a miscommunication there.
The last play. That snap, by the way, it still hits him in the hand. You got to hang on to it. He's looking to throw it. It's like your quarterback, Troy Aikman, hated the shotgun because you have to look the ball into your hands and you can't watch the receiver.
But you also want to see the rush. There's a lot going on behind there.
And if you see right here, remember now, right before this play, remember they called the timeout? Right? When Kansas City came up, and then they were going to play off. Kansas City was going to play off. And then they called a timeout. and coach changed the play. And so what Tua's looking at is this rush of people coming toward the line of scrimmage. He thought they were going to get what they had right before the timeout. Absolutely. And now he's saying, oh, my God, here they come. But they had a perfect play on for that blitz if he would have caught that football.
Could the Miami Dolphins be like the Dallas Cowboys?
If he'd have caught that football, there was a receiver running wide open, and he had the whole left side of the field. So all he had to do was catch it and throw it up in the air. He could have run across that field and scored.
Sound like the Cowboys to me.
Well, we're just breaking down for the audience.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So could the Miami Dolphins be a lot like the Cowboys?
Maybe.
I mean, just this. We feel good about them, Skip, at the beginning because they started playing teams. But when you really break down the teams that they played, like the Chargers and the New England Patriots, but they lose to the Bills, they lose to Kansas City, they beat up on Denver, they play Carolina, they win against. I mean, could it be?
Okay, here's the difference. Dak is better than Tua. He's much better than Tua because
I'm just talking about as a team.
I know, but Mike McDaniels has worked miracles with Tua up to this point. And then when you get to those last 4 plays, when the ball is literally in his hands and he's got to make one big throw to win the game, he's just not good enough. And I have no idea
that's what you said about your quarterback, too, though.
Okay, but he's way better than this guy.
But
he doesn't do
one
that.
Big play, he can't get it done.
I know, but I'm just
telling you. It's hard for me on Tua because these eyes have laid upon Tua doing that. I watched him come in Alabama to make that exact throw that you are talking about. So it's hard for me to say,
he's also done it in the pros, too. I used to be just like you, Skip, on Tua, scratching my head and thinking about, I don't know. But he convinced me last year when he was playing. I saw him with him. I saw him without him. This year, he's convinced me that he belongs. The thing is, defensively, when you disrupt his timing and his rhythm because you're punching on the receivers and he has to reload, reset his feet, and find the second and third guys, that timing is off. That's how you beat the Miami Dolphins.
Right. And a little bit, though, I saw just a little bit, and I've been looking for Tua moving around a little bit more. Yesterday, he started saying, okay, first option's closed. Usually you see him just now getting sacked. But I saw him starting to anticipate some of these rushes and move around a little bit better, which he's going to need as they continue to move.
Okay, could we go back to the 3rd and 10 at the 31 play to Cedric Wilson, late of the Dallas Cowboys, once one of Dak's favorite go-tos on 3rd and 10. And Cedric Wilson breaks completely free. And Tua said it was a miscommunication.
Right.
So does he think he's going to run an out? I don't know. It just looked like the ball slipped.
What it is it's blitz. So they're bringing pressure.
Yep.
And he's over there playing man to man. He's not the hot. See, the corner's sitting at the sticks. Yeah. The corner's sitting at the sticks. So
because he knows you won't have time.
I think Tua was thinking he was going to run a slant, and in the end, he kept going.
Like an out?
No, a slant in the middle of the field.
Slant?
Yeah. Because he's probably the hot receiver, and I'm only saying this because he's sitting at the sticks on 3rd and 10. Yeah. If he's sitting at the sticks, that's anticipating they're coming with a strong blitz. Now, I got to get rid of the football. He's looking to get rid of it, but when he realizes that Cedric Wilson throws his hands up in the middle of his throw, he's caught in the middle of his throw.
The only thing is the X is only hot when I get 4 weak. Because, X is my side.
I don't know the protection.
It's single receiver side. If you get 4 weak, you'll see they won't be able to protect it. Then the X will be hot. I don't know what the hot route is. But this doesn't look like, because he never looked like he was waiting to throw a slant.
Look at Cedric Wilson right there. He gives that like he's going to run a slant. He's looking. You see what I'm saying? Look at him. Like, bam. I thought he looked like he run the slant.
So is Tua just throwing it away?
Got caught in the middle of his throw, I believe. That's why he said what he said in the post-game presser is miscommunication. Rather than say, well, Cedric was supposed to do this, he didn't do it. He just said miscommunication.
To me, it looked like it's supposed to be a 3 route. A 3 route is third step, you roll out. And it's more plausible because I'm going to catch this ball, step right out of bounds, right? I'll catch the ball, step right out of bounds. Now, if I tell the quarterback, hey, listen, he's sitting, I'm a rock step and go. And he didn't hear it, and I go and rock. Things like that happen sometimes. I'm telling him, listen, I got this guy. This guy's going to be sitting inside. I can rock step, run right by him, and he'll come back. I didn't hear you say it, or he forgot. It's just, I like that Tua came out and said it's a miscommunication. Because usually, remember early on, I told you, you don't want to come and say, well, who made the mistake there? It was a miscommunication, and that was it. So yeah, that was that situation.
Yeah, they behind the 8 ball for sure on where they were at the beginning of the season to where they're at now.
Just remember about Tua. All year long, he's gotten away with throwing a lot of balloon balls, like puff balls, floaters, where he will anticipate and just throw it where he hopes somebody breaks to, and the ball will be gone before the receiver's coming out of his break.
Right.
They were not on the same.
Well, they got their bye, and they get our Antonio Pierce Raiders.
And that's why, Skip, that right there, that play that he dropped the ball on, I'm telling you, that play was set up perfectly because they did come. And Mike McDaniels must have anticipated that because that inside slot receiver to the right, he had the whole football field. And he was planning on throwing that same throw you just talked about, that lob across the field, and let him run right up under to win the game.
All right. Back to the Dallas Cowboys next.
God.
We are about to debate what letter grade Dak deserves, and I am intrigued to hear what these guys have to say about that. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.